want to distract you from the Nord Stream pipeline being blown up. They also want to distract you from Palestine, Ohio. It's amazing how Americans are the most propagandized people in the world, and they have no idea that they are. That's the thing that's crazy. But anyway, that's and the psychopaths are the people who still won't give their own people health care while they're sending $100 billion in bombs to kill other people. They're bloodlust, thirsty psychopaths. We did it to Iraq. We did it to Libya. 20 years in Afghanistan. We did it to Syria. We're still doing it to Syria. Isn't that amazing how people can get so outraged at Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine? But no ire, no animosity, not even a blink of an eye to the United States occupying a third of Syria, which is the oil part. So again, we're the thing we claim to hate. America is the world's terrorists, and now we were supposed to be afraid when Donald Trump was president because he has his finger on the button, and now we have domestic hate. America is the world's terrorists, and now we were supposed to be afraid when Donald Trump was president because he has his finger on the button to the United States occupying a third of Syria, which is the oil part. So again, we're the thing we claim to hate. America is the world's terrorists, and now we were supposed to be afraid when Donald Trump was president because
say that the truth is the truth, no matter who speaks it. Introduction. Since becoming the world's most powerful country after the 2 world wars and the Cold War, the United States has acted more boldly to interfere in the internal affairs of other countries, pursue, maintain, and abuse its hegemony, advance subversion and infiltration, and willfully wage wars, bringing harm to the international community. Now, when I read this, understand that I didn't write this. However, there are a lot of points in this essay that you really need to take to heart. And when this essay speaks of the United States, I believe that it speaks of the United States government and not we the people. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, most people around the world, average folks like you and me and your neighbors, they just want peace. They want to be able to work. They want to be able to feed their families, house their families, and they want freedom. So I believe that this is talking mainly to the United States government, and this is how the world feels. Let's continue. The United States developed a hegemonic playbook to stage color revolutions, instigate regional disputes, and even directly launch wars under the guise of promoting democracy, freedom, and human rights. Clinging to the Cold War mentality, the United States has ramped up bloc politics and stoked conflicts and confrontation. It has overstretched the concept of national security, abused export controls, and forced unilateral sanctions upon others. It has taken a selective approach to international law and rules, utilizing or discarding them as it sees fit, and has sought to impose rules that serve its own interest in the name of upholding a rules-based international order. Now, let me break in really quick. For those of you that are watching this, if you want to get through it quicker, through the video quicker of me speaking, I know that I tend to speak a little bit slow. You can always go to the bottom right hand corner of the video, and there's a little wrench. You can click on that and you can speed this up where I talk a little bit faster and it gets through a little bit faster. That's usually how I watch my own videos, because I know that I speak a little bit slowly. So you can actually speed it up to 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, or 2 times the regular speed. Okay, carrying on. This report, by representing the relevant facts, seeks to expose the U.S. abuse of its hegemony in the political, military, economic, financial, technological, and cultural fields, and to draw greater international attention to the perils of the U.S. practices to world peace and stability and the well-being of all peoples. And here's the first one: political hegemony, throwing its weight around. The United States has long been attempting to mold other countries and the world order with its own values and political systems in the name of promoting democracy and human rights. And for those of you that are going to say, oh, AP, you hate the United States. Why are you reading this? This is saying nothing but bad things. Ladies and gentlemen, a patriot's main duty, in my opinion, is to criticize its government. It is how we stay free. By criticizing our government, what it does, and how it is that it is going to affect we the people when they take unilateral action in our name. All right, so I don't want to hear none of the crap that I've heard before that I don't love this country. I love this country. I love my countrymen. It's just that our government is jacked up. Instances of U.S. interference in other countries' internal affairs abound. In the name of promoting democracy, the United States practiced a neo-Monroe doctrine in Latin America, instigated color revolutions in Eurasia, and orchestrated the Arab Spring in West Asia and North Africa, bringing chaos and disaster to many countries. In 1823, the United States announced the Monroe Doctrine, while touting an America for Americans. What it truly wanted was an America for the United States. Since then, the policies of successive U.S. governments toward Latin America and the Caribbean region have been ridden with political interferences, military intervention, and regime subversion. From its 61-year hostility toward and blockade of Cuba to its overthrow of the Allende government of Chile, U.S. policy on this region has been built on one maxim: those who submit will prosper. Those who resist shall perish. The year 2003 marked the beginning of a succession of color revolutions: the Rose Revolution in Georgia, the Orange Revolution in Ukraine, and the Tulip Revolution in Kyrgyzstan. The U.S. Department of State openly admitted playing a central role in these regime changes. The United States also interferes in the internal affairs of the Philippines, ousting President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. in 1986 and President Joseph Estrada in 2001 through the so-called People Power Revolution.